Hello all. So in the last class, we had started off with the first type of boring method, that is auger boring method, and we saw that in auger boring, mainly the method was suitable for soft to stiff corrosive soils, as it was easier to penetrate in those soils using augers by the use of augers, whereas in hard soils or soils containing more boulders, the method of auger boring would prove to be difficult. Okay, so today we will move on to the other types of boring methods. Okay, next we'll move into the wash boring method, which is used. Okay, so in wash boring method, you have a tripod arrangement which supports this casing pile. Okay, so this is a casing pile, and there is a cutting edge provided at the end of the casing pile, so which will definitely help in the advancement of the borehole. Okay, and mainly what you have is there is a hollow drill road. Okay, there is a hollow drill road through which water will be circulated, and at the end of the hollow drill road there is a drill bit or a chopping bit which is attached to it. Okay, now at the top of the casing pile you have a pipe which collects the outflow water. Now this is the overall setup of wash boring. So initially you will drive into the soil by means of this casing pile and provide a proper seating. Then you start the actual mechanism of wash boring. Now in wash boring, so as you can see in the figure, water will be pumped through this hollow drill road, and then it will be coming out of this drill bit as well. Now what really happens is, as you are advancing, this water pressure which is jetted into the bottom of the hole, as well as the chopping action of the bit, causes the advancement of the borehole. Okay, so it is this combined action of the water pressure which is coming through the hollow drill road plus the chopping action of this drill bit which causes the advancement of the borehole at the bottom. Now what happens? Obviously there is water coming out of this setup, so it gets mixed up with the soil particles which is chiseled out by this drill bit. So some of the soil particles, okay, get mixed up with the water, and the water will start flowing through the annular space between this drill road. So this is the annular space. Okay, the horizontal line which I have drawn here, that indicates the annular space between this drill road and the casing pile. Okay, here also there is a space, annular space between the drill road and the casing pile. So the water which is jetted out of this drill road, it gets mixed with the soil particles which have been chiseled out by means of this drill bit, and this water will be taken upwards. Okay, this slurry, you can call it as a slurry, it will be taken upwards, and then this water which is mixed with the soil will be collected into this bucket. Okay, now this is how normally the wash boring process works. So mainly in wash boring, you are advancing or you are making a borehole by the combined action of the water pressure which comes out of the hollow drill road, and at the same time there is a chopping action done by the drill bit at the bottom. So definitely the soils will be getting chiseled out, and those soil particles will be getting mixed up with the water that has come that came out of this drill road, and due to this pressure naturally the water there will be an outflow of water, that is this water which gets mixed with the soil particles. It will be taken upwards through the annular space between the casing pile and the drill road. Okay, and it will be taken upwards, and as you saw there is a pipe provided at the top of the casing pile through which your outflow water will be collected. Now that water normally gives you, see there, as you advance through the depths below the ground surface, there will be a change in soil strata. Now the change in the soil strata that is which gives you an indication that you are moving from one type of soil to another type of soil below the ground surface. That indication of the the change in soil strata or the change in the type of soil can be identified by the color of the slurry which comes out of the casing pile and which is collected in the bucket. Okay, so that will definitely give you an indication of um, the change in soil strata that is occurring as you are advancing the borehole using wash boring technique. But that slurry is not a correct representation, is not like a representative sample of the soil which you have collected from a particular depth, because naturally what really happens is that only see the soil particles are getting chiseled out by this chopping action. Okay, but when this water gets mixed up with the soil and it is taken upwards, naturally the finer particles are lost. Most of the finer particles of that particular soil samples are lost during the transport itself. Okay, and then it is not easier to carry the heavier particles like cobbles or any pebbles and all. It is not easier to carry those particles. So only so a true representative sample of soil is not getting mixed with the slurry, and hence you even if you are going to take out the soil from the separate the soil from the liquid and try to identify the soil also, it will not give a true representation of the soil from that particular depth from wherever you are collecting. Okay, so that is one of the main disadvantages of wash boring. Okay, so it is both an advantage as well as a disadvantage of collecting the slurry water. If the slurry water coming out of the casing pile, okay, definitely gives you an indication that there is a, I mean, the color of the slurry water definitely gives you an indication that there is a change in the soil strata. But whatever particles are getting collected with the water, with the slurry water, it's not a true representative sample of the actual soil. Okay, from the depth, uh, you know, from which you have actually collected. Okay, so that is one major disadvantage of wash boring. Then other than that, the other advantage is that obviously this sample, I mean, this method is also suitable for soft to stiff corrosive soils. And if at all, you are experiencing any difficulty that, like any cave in is going to happen, that is, if at all whatever soil you are penetrating into are from a sort of collapsible soils, or it has a chance to cave in or fall into the borehole which you are making. Okay, that is from the sides of the wall. If the sides of the wall are not that stable and if the soil is not that stiff or stable, then what happens is that the soil from the wall will start collapsing into the borehole which you have made. So now that is not good, right? It will not help in further advancement of borehole. So in such type of soils where you need more stability while making the borehole, instead of circulating the water through the hollow drill road, you can even circulate a fluid called as bentonite. I mean, there are several stabilization fluids which can be used for supporting these soils. I mean, collapsible soils or soils which can supposedly fall into or cave into the borehole. So, in order to stabilize the borehole and keeps that soils from falling into borehole, you can usually use stabilization fluids or drilling fluids such as bentonite. Now, bentonite is one form of a drilling fluid which you can use here if your soil is if your soil has a chance of collapsing into the borehole which you are making. So this is a form of clay. Bentonite is a form of clay, and what it does, it as it circulates, so naturally it comes out through your hollow drill road. So bentonite is a form of clay, so it is mixed with water and it will be at a particular consistency. It will be mixed with water and it will be circulated through the hollow drill road, and then the usual chopping action plus the jetting action of bentonite works here. And as the bentonite gets its outward flow, okay, through the space, what it does, it will be forming a layer onto the wall of the borehole. Okay, and thus it will be stabilizing the borehole. It will help in forming that layer around the borehole, and it will help in preventing any collapse of soil into the borehole. Okay, so that is the advantage of using bentonite if at all you are experiencing or if you are boring through such collapsible soils. Okay. Now, this wash boring method is also suitable for soft to stiff corrosive soils itself. And naturally, if you are encountering with some very, bouldery type of soil, um, even the jetting action and chopping action will not help you in advancing through that borehole. Okay. Then, as I said, what you normally get is a disturbed soil sample due to this chopping action. See, even if you want to collect, if you have reached a particular depth and you intend to collect a particular a soil sample from that particular depth. Now, for collecting soil samples, we normally use instruments or apparatus called as samplers. Okay, so there are different types of samplers, but even then, so what you do is, if you want to collect the sample, you will take out this equipment and then you will attach the sampler to it, and you will penetrate into soil and collect soil from that particular depth, from wherever you want. That is how you do it. But here, due to this chopping action, okay, even if you're trying to collect a sample using a sampler, that sample will be a disturbed one. Okay, normally we would prefer undisturbed samples for most of our engineering property test. So in through washboring technique, you will be getting only disturbed samples, because due to this chopping action, the soil structure will definitely get disturbed, and then from whichever depth you are collecting the sample using a sampler, you will only get a disturbed sample and not an undisturbed sample. Okay, then compared to the other types of methods which we'll be seeing now, this wash boring uses a comparatively easily portable drilling and handling equipment. Okay, so one of the advantages that it can be taken into any inaccessible locations and it can be used. So that is one of the advantage of wash boring. Okay, now we will move on to the next type of boring. Now, percussion drilling. So, this is the next type of drilling method. Now, percussion drilling uses a heavy drilling rig, and the main part of the drilling rig is this bit which is attached to a cable. Okay, and there is something called as a baler or a sand baler, or it's actually a pump which is also connected to the drilling rig. Now you have, if you want some aid in advancement of borehole, you can even use water pressure. So there is provision to pump water through water into the borehole through this rig. Okay, so normally the borehole is advanced, or you make a borehole by means of lifting and dropping this heavy bit onto the ground surface. So due to the heavy blows which is given onto the soil will be broken down, and a hole will be made. Okay, so that is how the borehole is advanced in percussion drilling, due to the lifting and dropping of this heavy bit. Okay, and you can imagine, due to such heavy blows which is given onto the soil surface, any type of soil can be broken down, even rocks can be broken down, even any type of soil. Okay, so that is one of the advantage of going for percussion drilling, that is any type of soil is suitable for, or it is suitable for boring by means of percussion drilling. Now, in case if you're boring through sand, one of the see, if you want some aid in the boring technique, you can even pump water onto it, just like in wash boring, how you used water as an aid for advancement of borehole. Here, actually, for aid in cutting or breaking down the soil, you can pump water onto this borehole as well. Okay, suppose, see, as you advance through the borehole, normally these are broken down by the heavy bit. Okay, so you might want to remove this broken soil particles. So in order to help with that, you can pump water, and see, if you are boring through sand and all, normally sand is difficult to be transported, even if it is getting mixed with water, it is difficult to be transported back to your ground surface. So normally you can add some clay. Okay, already you are pumping in water into top. In addition to that, you can add some clay, which will help, which will mix with the sand, and it will help in the carrying capacity of the sand, because sand alone cannot be transported back uh, to the ground surface along with water. It is difficult. Okay, so sometimes it can be done. Um, so normally water will be pumped into the borehole in case you need some help with carrying the broken soil particles upwards. And if you are penetrating or the hole through sandy soils and all, to help with the carrying capacity of sand, you can normally add some amount of clay also to it, and that will help in removing the sand. So when too much of water or slurry is getting accumulated in your borehole, and to help with further advancement of borehole, you can use these balers. So what this balers does is, it will just suck out the water and the soil particles which has been broken down. So then the borehole gets cleaned up again, and then further you can continue with your lifting and dropping of the heavy bit for further advancement of the borehole. And usually this is the rate. Okay, you can, at a rate of 35 to 60 drops per minute, you can make an advancement of 45 to 100 centimeter in depth. Okay, so this is a very heavy drilling rig which is used for percussion drilling, and this bit is the cause, this heavy bit is the cause for advancement of the borehole. So you can, due to those heavy blows, you can use it in any type of soil, be it rocks or normal soils, and to help with the the cleaning of the borehole, or to carry that broken soil particles back to the surface, and to clean the borehole for further penetration, you can use some water. You can pump some water, and this, it gets mixed up with the broken soil particles. And if you want those slurry to be removed, you can use these balers or pumps, which will just suck out the slurry from the bottom of the borehole, and then you can further continue with your drilling process. Okay. So one of the greatest advantage of using percussion boring is that any type of soil can be broken down using this heavy bit. Okay, so that is the advantage. Whereas disadvantage is that here also you will be getting highly disturbed samples, because you are using this drop. I mean, you're dropping a heavy bit onto the soil. Naturally the soil structure will get heavily disturbed, so you will never be able to recover a undisturbed soil sample from any of the depths, okay, from wherever you intend to collect. So that is one of the major disadvantages of percussion drilling. But obviously, you will get disturbed soil samples, and if that is enough for index property test and all, you can do that. But for engineering property test, this disturbed sample will not be useful for you. And one other thing is that there will be a change. There will be different soil profiles, right? So naturally, if there is a thin strata of soil, okay, which is here also, as I said, we are using water to pump out the broken soil particles, and from that color of the slurry, you will here also you will be able to identify the change in soil strata, which is happening below the ground surface as you're digging through it. But here what happens is that since you're giving heavy blows onto the soil, if at all a thin strata of soil is present below the ground surface, there is a chance that it would get collapsed. Okay, and you will not be able to identify any such thin strata within the vertical profile of the subsoil. Okay, that is also one of the disadvantage. Now, next we'll move on to the last type of boring method. Now, the last type of drilling technique is a rotary drilling technique. Now, this is very much similar to your wash boring technique, just that this is a slightly advanced version of wash boring technique, where you can see from the pictures, you use a slightly heavy machinery for the boring technique. Okay, so you have a heavy drilling jig, and see, this is the thing. You have a hollow drill rod at the end of which you have a large chopping bit which is attached to it. So this rotary drilling process also, it uses the same concept of wash boring as well. That is the jetting action of water plus the chopping action of the bit. But since here we are using slightly advanced equipment here, this rotary drilling is suitable for all types of soils. But here also it is suitable for cutting through rocks. That is one of the advantages of rotary drilling. All other processes are same. It has a hollow drill rod, then it has a chopping bit attached to the end of the hollow drill rod, so water will be jetted through this hollow drill rod, and there is chopping action of the bed, which will the combined action of which will help you in enhancement of the borehole. And if you are caving in through some collapsible soils, or if there is a chance that the soil you are drilling through can cave in or can fall into the borehole which you have made, then you can pump bentonite fluid or any other drilling fluid or stabilization fluids through this hollow drill rod and can stabilize the borehole and then continue with your boring process. Okay, but here also, if you are trying to bore through soil containing more of boulders and all, the same thing happens. Sometimes you may experience difficulty in further boring, because what really happens is that you have the jetting action of water as well. Okay, so these gravels or boulders will keep rotating at the end of your instrument, and it will further, it will hinder your process of boring. Okay, so that is one difficulty that you may experience even with rotary drilling. But in general, rotary drilling may be employed for all other types of soils and rocks also. And if you are drilling through rocks, you have a special type of chopping bit. You will have diamond studded chopping bits which will help in cutting through the rocks. Okay, so as I said, rotary drilling uses the same mechanism of wash boring itself, that is jetting action of water or any other stabilization fluid as required, plus the chopping action of the bit. That will help in advancement of the borehole. Here, if you want to bore through rocks, if you want to cut through rocks, you will have diamond studded core bits, which will be used as the chopping bit here. Okay. So due to the heavy machinery which is used for rotary boring, we can employ it for drilling into any type of soils. And if you are drilling through rocks, you can use diamond studded core bits for the chopping action. Okay, so and comparatively this is a faster method, it can for the advancement of the borehole to any type of soil. But and you can use these methods in highly resistant soil strata as well. But as you saw, this is a very bulky equipment which is used, so it cannot be taken into any inaccessible location for carrying out the boring process. Whereas bush boring, you are comparatively using a very less bulky equipment, which was easier to handle and which was easily portable also. But here we don't have that advantage. We cannot use it in inaccessible locations. Okay. Now this is all about the different types of boring techniques. Now from next class onwards, we'll look into the other methods of exploration. So thank you.